Let's get some more analysis now on the unemployment number. It's got huge implications for what the RBA does on interest rates. Joining me is the lead partner for Deloitte Access Economics, Pradeep. Pradeep, what's your read on those numbers today? They weren't as many had expected. The labour market continues to remain strong. Does it mean that rate cuts will have to wait longer for them?
Look, Kieran, the labour market is fluctuating a little bit up and down at the moment, and we're still waiting to see the full effects of that big rise in interest rates over the last 12 to 18 months still play out. And we expect over the next few months, the unemployment rate will rise. It'll rise to have a 4 in front of it. But what the numbers are telling us right now is that neither the labour market nor wages are causing a big problem in the economy, and that we're still waiting to see the full effects of the last few interest rate rises to play out.
Is it possible that we could get that soft landing, that ultimate soft landing, where unemployment remains historically very low, but the RBA gets inflation back into the target band? And the other thing to add to that is the US is also seeing their trajectory delayed, really, in terms of rate cuts as well. That's got to feed into the RBA thinking too.
Look, getting inflation under control is not the simplest thing in the world. It requires quite a few things, and you can't just rely on the blunt instrument of interest rates to do all that work. We're already seeing inflation starting to come down and coming down over the next 12 months, well within the Reserve Bank target. But what is really important is that we don't leave it up to that blunt instrument of interest rates. We need to supplement other actions of governments around incentivising investment to drive productivity, to have reforms that introduce greater competition into the economy to make sure prices are as efficient and as low as possible for consumer, and to do other things that boost the innovative and productive capacity of the economy. If we do these things, then over the medium to long term, you have a greater impact on inflation and the capacity of the economy to grow. And that's why you then don't need a big trade-off then around unemployment.
Yeah, and well, obviously there's a rental crisis, there's a housing crisis right now off the back of the rate rise. It's almost self-fulfilling in many respects as rates go up, rents go up. But in terms of the housing crisis, a lot of it is about supply. You've written a piece this week about the fact that while migration might be moderating, there's still no prospect that we're building enough properties to house everyone.
Absolutely, Kieran. I think all Australians know we have a housing crisis at the moment. The government, federal government and the states all have great targets, but the problem is on the supply side. We need to ensure that our planning system is working far more effectively and quickly than it is at the moment. The second, we need to make sure that we are supporting the building of houses a lot faster than we have before. And third, we need to make sure that when we build these houses, we build them as smart, climate-ready houses so that over the medium term, it reduces the running costs for households. But our housing crisis is not going to be solved by a lazy option of just cutting immigration, because it's not just a demand issue, it's more fundamentally a supply-side question that we've got to get right. And if we get that right, you can see it'll start to have an impact on inflation.
Pradeep, Philip, great to get your insights as always on some important economic data. We'll talk to you soon.